Welcome to another part of my Management Accounts Automation Masterclass. If you've landed here without context, I recommend starting with the introduction video. It's linked below. Everything you need to follow along is in the description. Let's get into it. Okay, so what could we use instead of trial balance as that one source of data out of which we could create any report that we want? We are after a list of all nominal transactions, which in some softwares like Sage are easily, this database in a very nice tabular form is easily available for export to Excel. And unfortunately, QuickBooks doesn't provide it in such a nice, ready-to-use way, but we can still get it out of it. And with just a little bit of transformation in Power Query, we can get it to the nice tabular structure that we can work with. So when we think of such a report, the first thing that comes to mind is the general ledger. So let's have a look at this. And I want to select all dates. And immediately we can see that we have a problem because the way it displays the split transactions makes it impossible to drill down in Excel. When we send it to Excel, it will look exactly the same, which means you cannot easily identify the other side or parts of each of those journals or entries, whether they are bills or invoices or any other transaction. You just cannot do it without actually double clicking on it and looking what makes it. So that's not good. There is also its friend general ledger list. And again, let's choose all dates. And at first glance, this looks more promising because here we have the transaction ID numbers, which are gold. They will enable us to match this part of the transaction, the debit part, with the corresponding credit or credits or combination of both, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, when we send it to Excel, the way it looks in Excel, and I will not go into details of why this doesn't work, but trust me, I have tried and tested it, and the way it's presented here with the levels of hierarchy, and this is not a complex component, this is a very basic demo. It's very, very difficult, and there's this indentation, which is not actually, it doesn't have leading spaces, it's just visual. So all this combined makes it quite tricky, not impossible, but quite tricky to transform in Power Queries to that nice tabular form that we can actually work with. So because of that, I don't like it, and I don't recommend using it. There is also a couple of other reports which for one reason or another also don't work, so just feel free to explore, but for now, take my word for it. What I do recommend and what I have tested and what has worked for me, report called transaction list with splits. This is the magic. This is all we need to create everything else that QuickBooks can possibly create itself. And again, we want all dates. And it is showing us a condensed view here, compact view, which, although this doesn't matter because we're not going to be working with it on the surface in actually QuickBooks, we will be exporting it to Excel. So at the first glance, it looks similar to what we had before with the general ledger list. However, when we export it to Excel, it only has the two levels, And actually, if you look at this first column, which I'm scrolling down quickly, there's actually absolutely nothing happening of value. There is creditors for some reason and debtors section, that doesn't really even make sense. And that's it. So all information that we want is happening in the other columns, which are not here. We need to add some more. But basically, this is much better, nicer, cleaner report to work with in Power Query. It still needs some processing before we can use it and write nice formulas based on it, but it's definitely the one that we want. So it is transaction list with splits. Thanks for watching. You're one step closer to a fully automated month end. And remember, you don't need to go through the entire masterclass before you start seeing results. Each layer we build adds practical automation that you can apply immediately to your own work. By the end of the series, you'll have everything you need to implement the full system to your own data. And if you'd prefer support or want the system implemented for your company, you can contact me through my website. I'll see you in the next lesson.